Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Lessons from Your Soul Reveal reading. I am Tracy Trimble. For those of you that don't know me very well, let me tell you a little bit about myself while we're waiting for everyone to gather and join us tonight. I am what you call a spiritual Zenagogue. A Zenagogue is the tour guide and the translator. And that's what I am, a spiritual tour guide and translator. I am the tour guide of the human experience. As spirit energy, we came here to learn 12 very specific earth lessons. We came with a divine assignment, a literal map in which we are meant to create a blueprint to manifest and master being human. And that's my purpose on this planet, navigating you through all of the bumps in order to remember your unique to you human being user manual. And not only is that my purpose, it's my passion. So I'm truly, truly blessed to have you here with me tonight, and I'm really excited to share this lesson. Hey, Joe, welcome. It's great to have you here. Tonight, our lesson is called Mostly Awesome Most of the Time. This is a phrase that I coined in 2015. Yeah, in 2015. And in 2020, I had to use it as my very own medicine. And I want to share with you guys tonight what that is all about and teach you how to use it as well. So let's grab a piece of paper and a pen. Let's make sure that you have some water and that you're in a comfortable position. I think what we'll do first to just clear away some of the doubt that comes up when I say our purpose on this planet is to live a life that is mostly awesome most of the time. Let's start with a little healing energy treatment, a space in which we can ground into the present moment, open both our hearts and our minds to the possibility that you may already, right now, be living in mostly awesome most of the time, but because you don't know what that is, and because your external experience has been corrupted, you don't believe that's possible. And I want to be part of the solution today. I want to be of enormous benefit to you. And I want to be able to help you shift your perception of life as you know it. So let's find a comfortable position to just move some of the energy that blocks self-love and blocks possibilities and blocks the negative ways that we've learned, yes, learned, to perceive our reality. And so for those of you just joining us, we're going to do just a quick energy medicine treatment to get us in alignment to receiving the lesson that we're going to do tonight, which is called Mostly Awesome most of the time. So find that comfortable position. Your ankles and your knees are not locked over one another, sitting cross-legged, or if you're chair style, spreading your legs a bit. You want to do this in any type of energy medicine treatment. It allows the energy from Mother Earth, the grounding energy, to come up into your hara, that very, very important spiritual space behind your belly button where a ganglia of nerves is gathered. It also allows you to channel down information from cosmic intelligence, especially if you're sitting up straight. The more straight that your spine is, the more likely that the information that you're channeling from competence from the cosmic universe is going to travel through the Hara line. This beautiful silver line connects at your Akashic record, the record that your soul is tethered to. And it channels down your spine into your Hara, feeding information to you all of the time. And so let's connect to that. Your eyes are closed, your ankles and your knees are unbound. You're grounding into Mother Earth. We close our eyes to give us a more internalized experience, the opportunity to engage our imagination. And so let's do this. As we find our breath, we imagine that we can feel earth energy moving up through our feet, our legs, into our pelvic floor and supporting this energy at Hara, just behind the belly button, a little bit lower. It's here that we ground down into earth energy. If you've just joined us, close your eyes. Bring your breath and awareness to your Hara, behind your belly button, and just a little bit below. It's here that we connect to Mother Earth, where all of our physical needs are taken care of. And we give thanks for the safety and the support that she gifts to us should we choose to see the magic all around us. On your next inhalation, imagine that you're pulling that life force energy from Mother Earth up to the center of your chest. Mystics call this soul's energy at heart center. And today we are opening our heart to all of the possibilities of this lesson called Mostly Awesome, most of the time. As we inhale and open our heart, we invite into soul's energy all of the experiences that keep us in alignment with our divine assignment. And as we exhale, we release out of the back of our shoulder blades anything that's been blocking love, self-love in particular, in the past. If you've just joined us, close your eyes. Bring your breath and awareness to the center of your chest. Know that you are grounded and you are open. Using your breath and imagination, inhale up into third eye. Mystics call this the God brain. It's where ego has two very important roles: receiving cosmic wisdom and interpreting that wisdom through the outside world experiences. Here, we are activating our own Akashic record, the silver Hara line from our soul's tether coming down through pineal, center of the forehead, through heart, center of the chest, through Hara, center of the biome. And in this moment, I ask for your permission to allow me to remove through psychic surgery any blocks that you've had to self-love that in the past would not allow you to be open to the lesson that I'm teaching today, that you are mostly awesome most of the time. Beautiful. Let's just sit in that for a moment. Before you open your eyes, please accept my invitation to come back to the beginning of this lesson as often as you need to release from you any blocks to self-love. This healing treatment was set in the Reiki energy of Hanshaze Shonen, where it will always be available to you. Please give thanks in any way that you need to for the known, the unknown, the cloaked, and the hidden messages that you've received today. Before you open your eyes, please move your body and release my energy from yours, accepting this healing treatment. When you're ready, you'll very gently open your eyes, coming back to this moment, coming back to this lesson. The lesson that we're going to do today is called Mostly Awesome Most of the Time. It's a phrase that I coined in 2015, originally to help myself. I was in a not so great space. Two things in my life went sideways. And in that moment, I decided that my life sucked and that everything was hard and that all the work I had done up to that point seemed to unravel and I didn't have what I needed. Those two areas of life for me were financial and career. I had spent the previous 6 years building a 6,200 square foot wellness center. For me, it was a spiritual center, but it was a little early for the community in which I built it. And I had sunk everything, financially, emotionally, mentally. I burned many bridges. I hurt myself and a lot of other people. And I walked away from this venture. It was too much of a toll on my physical well-being, on my marriage, on my pocketbook. And at the time, I was devastated and believed that my life was over. And I don't mean that in the sense that I would have ended my life, but once again, everything I created crumbled. The really cool perspective that I had at that time is that this wasn't the first time that everything I had sunk my entire focus into literally was destroyed almost overnight. One single thing happening and it was destroyed. And so the gift that I had in that moment was that the first time it happened to me, I got out of a situation that I should have never been in. And it turns out that this was the same situation. After Tranquil Garden closed for months and months, maybe even years, people would see me and say, "Oh, Tracy, I'm so sorry to hear about Tranquil Garden." And the reality was, after the first maybe 2 weeks of getting through the financial and the relationship and the humiliation trauma, it was the best thing that ever happened to me. Literally, things started falling into place. I had applied to do my master's and my PhD several times up to that point and had not been accepted. 3 days after Tranquil Garden closed, after I filed bankruptcy, I was accepted into my doctorate program. And so in that moment, recognizing that the path I was on at that time called Tranquil Garden wasn't my path. I didn't want to see it. But the universe could see that for me and kept gently nudging me and causing me challenges. Have you ever been so overwhelmed that everything in your life just seemed like it was falling apart? You might even be there right now. But I think we can all remember those moments. Or have you ever been so unclear about the direction in your life that everything just fell like dominoes? Nothing seemed to go your way. This is what I was experiencing in that moment. And I had a real come to truth versus reality moment in that period of time. And I shared my pain and suffering with someone I loved very much, who normally in the past would play along and console me and tell me everything would be okay. But in that moment, on that particular day, she said to me, "Are you fucking kidding me?" And it took me back. It hurt me in the moment. And what she said to me was, "You need to find some gratitude, because there are people out there that would kill for your life. Yeah, sure, you lost your business, one that you probably shouldn't have been in the first place." And to her point, I owned a spa. At that point in time, I'd never been to a spa in my life. I wasn't the least bit interested in pursuing those physical pursuits. I wanted a wellness center. I wanted a spiritual center. But at the time, there wasn't any money in that. So purchasing the spa was my way of, in the meantime, making it work out. That's not where I wanted to be. She said to me that besides this career and my financial pain, that I had a perfect life and I needed to be grateful. And in that moment, I started to take inventory, not of all of the ways that my life was falling apart and that it sucked, but in all of the ways that I was truly, truly blessed. And guess what? There was a long, long list. And this was the beginning of my self-mastery program. This was the beginning of me doing regular inventory of truth versus reality. In reality, when something goes wrong in one area of life, we let that be the main domino that knocks down all of the other dominoes that weren't actually in any danger of falling, until we aggressively placed our negative fear story energy on them. And so what I want to do tonight is talk to you about how the natural law of polarity works in cohesion with your soul reveal reading. But I also want to give you the tools to take inventory, to show you that you are mostly awesome most of the time. And I want to distinguish between the ability of saying things like, "I'm fine," or "I'm not okay," versus "I'm mostly awesome," versus "I am," and in my favorite language, swear word, "awesome." Those are the degrees. I am devastated. I'm fine. I'm mostly awesome. I am swear word awesome. And so let's imagine that those are the extremes. The natural law of polarity says that there has to be an extreme of chaos, and there has to be an extreme of perfection. We do not live in chaos or perfection for very long. Those are the places that we pendulum to recognize that the extremes are not the truth. They are the reality. The truth is there is this beautiful, elegant space where chaos and perfection interconnect, become a cohesive whole. You have to have just enough chaos to allow the lessons to continue to show up, and just enough perfection to motivate you to elevate your conscious awareness. These two extremes, the absolutely devastated to absolutely perfect, are not what we want to avoid, and they are not what we want to strive for. They are energy. They are a frequency and vibration. That chaos energy is a low frequency and vibration, but it's necessary. It's important. It's part of our shadow work. That perfect energy is a high frequency and vibration. Again, it's not where we want to stay. It's where we want to recognize is the jumping off point into our next level of conscious competence. And so let's talk about a way in which you can do inventory on your life in order to escape the corrupted negative stories and embrace the empowering energy of higher frequencies and vibrations. So let's make this a scale of 0 to 5. Again, 0 is absolute perfection. There is no chaos here at all. 5 is absolute chaos. And that 2.5 space is right in the middle. We're going to use this as a scale. But before we're able to use that scale, I want to go through the 12 areas of life, the 12 earth lessons that mystics follow without exception in understanding that we are here as spirit energy to learn these lessons. And as we go through each of them, we're going to do a little bit of inventory. And we want to take that one lie that we've told ourselves. Mine was, my life sucks. And we want to pay attention to where it poisons all of the other areas of life. But then I want to take a few moments and talk to you about the 3 foundational lessons and how when one of them is out of alignment becomes the domino effect for the others. So let's get to our lesson. If you have any questions, concerns, or ideas, please don't hesitate to put them in the comment section. I'll either go back to them or I'll catch them out of the corner of my eye. If you have a pen and paper, this is really important information, and this inventory needs to be done anytime that you don't feel mostly awesome, that you can't fathom allowing that spell to come out of your mouth as true. I am mostly awesome most of the time, or even better, I am swear word awesome. There are 3 pillars in the lessons of life. We've been through this before, so this might not necessarily be new, but you'll hear something different. So please pay attention. The 3 pillars of awareness that we're here as spirit energy to experience are first, self. Second, influential others. And third, life. In the first pillar of self, there are 5 key lessons. Our physical well-being, so our temple body. Our emotional competence, which ironically is the way in which we navigate our inner world. It's our soul's energy. Third, our mental capacity. This is the way in which ego navigates as positive or negative energy. Fourth, spiritual connection. The degree to which we remember that we are spirit energy having a human experience. And fifth, character. Who we become when we are consciously aware of our physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual elements. These are self. Let's go back to self, sorry. Self is 100% about you, the individual. You are the only person on this planet that has any influence, and you are entirely responsible for the elevation of each of those elements. This is our primary purpose on life, to know thyself. The second pillar of awareness is called influential others. This is unique because it's about knowing thyself and being able to integrate into the collective consciousness as part of the whole, but maintaining your individuality as well. There are three areas of learning in influential others. The first is our intimate love relationship. The second, parent-child relationships. And the third, social. Social is anyone that you come into contact with that becomes a part of your social network. Your parent-child relationships are predetermined relationships before you come to this timeline. You chose your parents, your children chose you. Your intimate love partner is your greatest teacher. You chose them when you came here to be the single most influential energy on this timeline. The third pillar is life. These are the elements that only human beings have as a part of their lesson schedule. The first is our career. This has been corrupted over the last 6,000 years during this patriarchal reign to become what we do to make money. Our career energy has nothing to do with making money. It's who we are, how we behave, how we take our character and introduce that character to the world around us. It's who we are when we are of enormous benefit to all of humanity. Next is our finances. This is how we make money, what we do to make money, what we believe about money. Next is our quality of life. It's what we create when we're in alignment with self and others, and how we co-create our reality. And then finally is vision for the future. The way in which we stay present in the moment while actively projecting into the future based on our first divine assignment of gender energy. Our vision for the future for male energy comes from gathering as much information as possible and projecting what we expect and what we will accept as our reality. For female energy, it's about learning as much as possible, having a system of processing that allows us to create without doubt what we want to manifest and then manifest that. And so we have these 12 energies. And I want to simplify this. If you went through and you simply asked if you are happy, neutral, or unhappy in each of these areas, and you are literally taking inventory, you will have a denomination, X over 12, for happiness, for neutrality, and for unhappiness. And I'm going to bet that for 95% of us, for 95% of the time, are happy and or are neutral are going to be more than half on this scale of awareness. I move into intimate love. I am truly blessed. There have been moments that I've wanted to punch Fred, but I refrain from it. We work through it, and we truly are awesome. So 6 for 6. Parent, child. I am in a position where I don't have to juggle that. It's just me and my mom. My grandparents are gone. My dad is gone. And so it's really easy for me to manage parent. And I don't have any biological children of my own. And my man-child is grown and married, so doesn't need us. So here I am, all of a sudden, 7 for 7. Social, I struggle with social. I don't want to say that it's bad, and I don't want to say it's good, so I'm going to call it neutral. And for me, that gives me 8 out of 8. I move into career. I show up and am in enormous benefit as often as possible, so that's also in alignment. Financial, if I wanted to create some drama, I could say that financial isn't what I want, but it's actually not bad either, so that's neutral. As I move into quality of life, especially as we sit on these beautiful summer days, there is not much about my life that I wouldn't be extremely grateful for. And then vision for the future. I have a really clear vision for the future. This is the first time in a long time that I have been 12 out of 12. And it's why I wanted to share this lesson tonight, because I want to remember that this is where I am. But in those moments that things fall apart for me, they usually fall apart in physical. Actually, let's shift that. They usually fall apart in financial, which creates a lack of clarity for me in vision, which creates physical challenges, and that energy gets taken out on my intimate love relationship. So those tend to be the 4 places that I focus my energy, making sure that I'm in alignment with my male masculine taker, so that in any given moment that we're giving inventory. So let's imagine that you went through that list, and the 3 most common out of alignment energies are true for you: physical well-being, intimate love, and finances. That's where most human trauma rests. We all care about money, love, and health. That's just a human truth. And so even, hear me when I say this with love, even if your physical well-being is not perfect, even if your intimate love relationship is not perfect, and even if your finances are not perfect, but everything else is, guess what the truth is? Guess what you can say out loud that creates positive, enhancing, empowering energy that's true? You can say, I'm mostly awesome. Hear that. You don't have to say my life sucks. You don't have to say I can't do this anymore. You don't have to say I'm so sick and tired. You don't have to say I don't know what to do. You don't have to say I can't do this anymore. You can shift your perspective. And if 6 of those things are not so out of alignment that they're causing you pain and suffering, the truth is you are mostly awesome. And it is the blocks to self-love that have corrupted your mind to believe that you're not okay, that there is something wrong with you, that you can't do this. And for that corruption, I want to call if there are any questions, any concerns, or any ideas. Oh, Phyllis. Hi. It's been so long since I've seen you. I need to connect one-on-one with you. Fair enough. What I will do, Phyllis, is give Julia your email, and I'm going to write that down because I'm going to say I'm doing it, and then I might not. I'm going to give Julia your email address, and she'll reach out to you. Sorry, to book something in. Okay. I feel like we got disconnected, and I apologize for that. I don't know. My internet is actually really good for the first time in a long time. It might be because I have too many links open, which I should probably change right now. Okay. Does anyone have any questions, concerns, or ideas? Okay, let me do a quick recap. In any given moment, we want to be in a most neutral space. If you already have your human being user manual, because you've done that, or soul healing protocol, you know that your power is your positive polarity and that your trigger is your negative polarity. This is the perspective. And in that given moment, you want to always choose your power. That's where you will find mostly awesome most of the time. But for those of you who haven't completed your human being user manual yet, know that thinking of it as a neutral space, not perfect, but not chaotic, is exactly where we want to be. And as you take inventory of the 12 earth lessons, physical, emotional, mental, spiritual, character, intimate love, parent-child, social, career, finances, quality of life, and vision for the future, that you're able, with honesty, to see where you're at. Chaos, neutrality, or perfection. Anywhere you're neutral or feel that it's perfectly perfect for you in that moment is a win in the column of mostly awesome most of the time. And as you shift through that, I want you to think of this additional lesson that I'm going to quickly teach, and I'll see if Julia can find it from my iHeartRadio show on Inspired Network. That, what was it called? I think it's called, I believe it's called Perfectly Perfect. And in it, I talk about the three perspectives that help move us as we're shifting from chaos to neutrality to perfection. In the past is the first. That's when we recognize that we're not in a good place, and the place that we're in, we don't want to stay in. But we also recognize that where we're at isn't so easily changeable as just changing our mind, especially if it's a relationship, a job, or a place that we live that isn't working out. And so we use the "in the meantime" statement. This gives us permission to recognize that we're no longer in unconscious incompetence. That was the past. We want to be present in the moment, not projecting too far into the future, but we also want to be creating momentum. So it's in the meantime. And then as we move towards what we want to create, but we haven't created yet, we can say things like, this isn't true yet, but this is what I'm creating. And this gives you the ability to use your voice to spell out what you're creating. This session of Mostly Awesome most of the time, for those of you that joined during the lesson, begins with a healing energy treatment of removing the blocks to self-love that wouldn't even allow Mostly Awesome most of the time to be a part of your vocabulary. I highly recommend that you go back and do that energy medicine treatment over and over, as many times as you can, so that you are capable of, with your whole heart, with your whole mind, with your whole body, of saying, I am mostly awesome most of the time. Or even better, get brave and say I'm swear word awesome. Does anyone have any questions, concerns, or ideas before we wrap things up tonight? Please feel free to post anything in the comment section off to the side, but also if you're interested, you're more than welcome to send me an email. My email is Tracy, Traci, at tracytrimble.ca. This is the best way to reach me. And while I have you, and I'm waiting to see if there are any questions, I want to share an exciting announcement that my team has put together a really, really awesome program coming in the fall. And we're going to start announcing it next Saturday. So Julia will be posting all about this incredible, exciting live event that's coming in September and an incredible offer that goes with it as well. So please stay tuned to your Human Being User Manual private Facebook page. And as always, I send you so much love and gratitude for being here tonight. I appreciate you. And I am grateful for those of you who show up live as well as those of you who watch the lessons afterwards. Have the most amazing of days, and we'll see you next week. Alma.